हरि ओम नमः सर्वेभ्यः अद्वैत चिन्तनवर्गे सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। हरि ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानम् वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृषिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिम् स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वडबिडवि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमादात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वडतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्ताय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिदोद्घनाय महेशाय वडमूलनिवासिने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ तत्सत्। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवो भूतं यदा निद्रया यत्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्गुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहा योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रिता यत्साक्षात्करणात् भवेन् न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। So we have been doing the third stotra, Yasyaiva Spuranam Sadatmakam Asatkalpartakam Bhasate Sakshat Tattvamasiti Vetavajasa Yo Bodhayasyatridan Sakshat Karanad Bhaved Na Punaravrittir Bhavambo Nidau Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Now in this one, the main importance is on the second version, Sakshat Tattvamasi Vedavajasa. So Vedavajasa, Shruti and Bodhayashritan, and Shruti and experience, one's own bodham or in experience of its own awareness. So on with using this, one who understands that Tattvamasi, Sakshat Tattvamasi Vedavajasa, Yet sakshatkaranat bhavet. So when it becomes his immediate experience. Na punaravirtir bhavam bodhinau. In the bhavam bodhinau means bhavasagaram, or the ocean of samsara. Na punaravirti. He doesn't have to come back once he knows this. So we should know what is the Tattvamasi Veda Vajasa. That is what the Vartika has been beginning to explain now. Tad deshakala avastadau drishta saha iti katyate tadeva tad deshakaladau drishta ayam iti kirtyate. Kirtyate. So here there are two kala which is being mentioned. That time and this time. When that time he is referred as saha. Drishtaha saha iti katyate. Now when it is being seen, the same person, when it is being seen here now, I am iti. This is the what you call word which we are using for. Saha Ramaha, I am Ramaha. So, or in that word. So there are two words, saha, I am. Soyam Devadatta is the standard, Shastra way of explaining that. Soyam Devadatta means saha, I am Devadatta. So Devadatta is a common thing. What you call is the common between saha and I am. But the words saha and I am are two separate words. That and this. Something similar to tad and tvam. So that and this is understood when it is being told to Devadatta. The Desha Kaladi, when we saw the Devadatta in that time with the date, place, etc., is dropped. When he is being understood as I am Devadatta with this space and the time. So there is a certain portion of what are the conditions which are dropped. Certain conditions which are not common are dropped. But what are the conditions which are common is being accepted. Therefore, saha I am makes the sense. Both of them indicate the same Devadatta. This, in the Shastra term, it is called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Some aspects are accepted, some are rejected. So, Bhagam, means part. Bhagatyaga means, Tyaga means to reject. So, portion of the aspects are rejected and portion is being accepted where the commonality is seen. Then we arrive at the commonality to know what is the commonality between that, this so, saha and I am. Same way, tat and tvam, when it is being told by the Shastra, how we should do is being explained in the next 10-12 shows, this in the Vartikas. Mukyam tadedat vaishishtyam sadrishya padayor dvayoho pummatram lakshayatyekam yatha soyam puman vachaha pratyaktvam cha paraktam cha tyaktva tattvamasi vak tadeva lakshayatyekam jivatmana paramatmano. Now, mukyam tat edat vaishishtyam. The main thing is tad etat vaishishtyam visrujya means after having padadvayoho saha I am. In that and this Devadatta, when it is being there are two words saha and I am. So there is a vaishishtyam for those words desha kaladi. Tam visrujya, having abandoned that, pummatram lakshayatyekam. Ekam pummatram lakshayati. So only if the person is being indicated and the adjectives or the additional qualifications which are required to be seen. See, the Devadatta which you might have seen 20 years back and the Devadatta whom we know is the same person now may not be looking the same. He might have grayed, or he might have put on weight, or he might have lost weight, or he may be totally looking different with the specs and attire, etc. So all vaishishtyam tyaktva visrujya pummatram, that manishya rupam which is being there of the Devadatta, that is being accepted to make the statement with Soyam Devadatta, Tata Soyam Puman Vachaha. That Puman Vachaha is that Devadatta is being understood by removing all the Vaishishtyam which is differentiating between the two. But what is common between that and this is taken. Same way, Pratyaktvam cha Paraktum, that is the speciality, and what is beyond that, cha Tektva, both are being taken, removed. Tattvamasi iti vak, this word Tattvamasi, you have to be understood. Tatheva lakshati ekam jivatma paramatmano. Now jivatma and paramatma is being identified in the same word by tad and tvam. And when the word asi, the verb is added, how can that be this? That question can come. So for that can be this only when there is aikyam. That is, there is some sort of a unison or in the same aspects which is there, with which we can do that. So you have to do what is differentiate to and what is beyond the differences. You know that like the desha and kala are paraktum. Pratyaktam means it is that like, you know, where you have to identify as visheshanani. What are the adjectives on that? So that when it is being that removed from the word tad and tvam, then ekam tadeva lakshyati. So that is the one which is being indicated by jivatma paramatma. So there Jiva and Atma, Param and Atma. There are two words. Jiva is the Pratyakta, and here Para, Atma, there also is the Visheshana is that. So Atma is the common in between that. So how is the Jivatma, Paramatma to be understood by this methodology is being explained in the next few this thing. Samanadikaranya sya Samanadikaranya karanya Vyasambandha Vyasta Samanakaranya Akhya Samanadikaranya Akhya Sambandha Padayoho Iha Visheshana Visheshyatvam Sambandhasya Padayor Yataha Padayor Padayor, tat padayor, syat padayor, sambandha syat padayor. Samanadikaranyas akhya sambandha. Samanadikaranyam means the apposition is the word used in English, but basically means where both the words can be resolved to make that there is no conflict. So Jivatma the word and Paramatma word, padayor. Both the words, when it is resolved into one common substratum, that is, and that is the word the sambandha or the relationship with the Jivatma and Paramatma can be seen. Visheshana Visheshyatvam, that is Visheshana Yena Vishishyate. So adjectives and the qualifying aspect of the adjective on the object, both have to be removed, because Visheshanam, if you remove the adjectives alone, the object can be still understood without the Visheshanam, but there will be the ownership of the Visheshanam on the Visheshya. So that should not be that Sambandhasyati. So that also has to be kept in mind when you are doing the Bhagatyaga Lakshana, or partly accepting and partly rejecting. This is how it has to be processed. Lakshya Lakshana Samyogat Vakyam Aikyam Cha Bodhayet. Lakshya Lakshana Samyogat Vakyam Aikyam Cha Sambodhayet. The sentence as a whole teaches identity. The words being understood as secondary sense. Lakshana. It is here that Tattvamasi, is it a direct experience or is it a Lakshana Vachaka? Is it in a secondary sense, that is to be understood. See here, Lakshya and Lakshana, Samyogam asti, Tad and Tva. Tad Tvam Asi is the word used. Tad then is the Lakshana, Tvam Asi, when it is saying the Lakshya is in Tvam, there is a Samyoga, means when that is seen in this, then there is an Aikyata or Ekata in the Vakya. That is what it is to be understood, is what the statement understands here. So, for example, the standard, Varthikas statement is being taken here. Gangayam Gosha itivat na jahad lakshana bhavet na ajahal lakshana api syat shveto davati vakyavat. So, the example is Gangayam Gosha. Gangayam means in the river. Gosha means village or a cattle, shepherd hamlet. So, Gangayam Gosha itivat na jahad lakshana. Jahad lakshana means it is that it is not showing exactly in Ganga, means we know what is Ganga. Is a river, flowing river is called Ganga. In the flowing river, we cannot have a Gosha or a village or a hamlet for the cattle, shepherds. So what does it? It is a Jagat Lakshana, means it is showing the banks of the Ganga where the cattle shed is or a hamlet is there for the cows. It is not like that. Nor is it showing Ajahar Lakshana. Like what is it that Shveto Davati iti Vakyam. So imagine you are watching a set of horses running, and somebody is saying that the white horse is running faster, that is going to win the jackpot. So he is like, the white will run faster than, and it will run the race. So when it is a white is running faster, what does he mean? He is indicating the white horse. So Ajahal Lakshanapi. So there are two things where the part is to be removed, that the flowing nature of the river is removed to place the village on the banks, whereas here in the Shweta Davati, it is, you have to add on the subject called the horse. The white horse is the one which is running. So in both the statements, when it is being made, the meaning is understood by everyone. But at the same time, for understanding the word meaning, we have some places we remove some aspect of the statement to understand the meaning. In other cases, we add some qualities or some other words which is hidden as a meaning in the statement. So this is what is called Jahal Lakshana and Ajahal Lakshana. The secondary sense and the secondary sense is not altogether exclusive of the primary sense. Unlike in that expression of the village on the Ganges, nor it is altogether inclusive of the primary sense, unlike that in the case of a white runs. So village on Ganges, it doesn't mean that on the flowing river there is a village. Nor does a white runs mean that it is white color which is running, it is a white horse which is running. So we have to do this Jahal Lakshana, Ajahal Lakshana or Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana. Tattvamasyaadi Vakyanam Lakshana, Bhaga Lakshana, Bhaga Alakshana, Soyam Purusha Ityadi Vakyanam Iva Kirtita. So what does it say? We have to understand the word Tattvamasya, Tattvamasi, etc. in the similar way when we are saying that Lakshana and Bhaga Alakshana. So where we are taking that there are two conditions. Tat has got, that Tat means here it is showing Paramatma. Tvam is being referred to the Jivatma. So Jivatma and Paramatma, if you are comparing it, Paramatma is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, Sarveshwaraha, Jagataha Karanam. All those qualities are there which is not there in the Jiva. Whereas Jiva is Alpatnyaha, Alpashaktiman, so limited by this body, limited to knowledge, limited by his capacity and prowess. All those things, there is a limitation in the Jiva. Whereas in the Ishvara, you have the omniscient, omnipotent, all those qualities which is there in the Paramatma. But when you do the Lakshana and Bhaga Lakshana, same way like we said about Gangayam, Goshai and Ashwadhavati, or the village on the Ganges or the white runs, same way Soyam Purusha Ityadi Vakyanam Iva Kirtita. Soyam Devadatta or Soyam Purushaha. When you say that Purusha, that person is this person. So when you are taking that person and this person, there also we are doing the same thing. That person whom I met 20 years back was a youngster with a different type of looks, and he was thin and lanky with teenager dress and etc. Now today the same person I am saying that is the same person. So when I am saying that Soyam Devadatta or Soyam Rama, Soyam any name for that matter, I'm no more referring. I'm referring, even though I'm referring to that lanky teenager who was 20 years back, I am referring to him by the same name. And today, he is a father of 2 children. He is stout. He has put on things. He has become bald. He wears specs, and he looks totally different from the teenager. So, if you are looking at one-to-one that photograph and this photograph or this person in front of you, no way you can make out everything. But there is parts which you can take out and make a connection between that person and this person being the same. Like the Eka Vakyam, you see that one is indicating one person. That is the same when we say Tattvamasya Vakyam, Lakshana, Bhaga Lakshana. This is how it has to be understood. Now, Binna Nivritti Nimittanam Shabdanam Eka Vastuni Pravrittistu Samanadikaranatvam Iha Uchyate. Binna Vritti Nimittanam. Vritti means is the what you call is the thought condition, or the reason for that is various different types of vrittis are the cause for it. Shabdanam ekavastuni. Shabdanam ekavastuni. There are many words which are there in the name of Binna vrittis which are being understood. Like he was a teenager, he was lanky, he was wearing a dress befitting a teenager. So Shabdanam Aneka Shabdanam, the Aneka Vastuni is being indicated by the vritti, even though the person is there. Pravrittistu, pravritti here too, pravritti means it is that when you remove all those things, Samanadikaranatvam iha uchyate. So what is the commonality between that person and this person is what is being indicated by the Samanadikaranyam, or the commonality between the two. Now, the Shruti points to no sort of distinction between Jiva and Ishvara. When Tattvamasi is being told, it is very clear that the Shruti has no such intention of bringing the adjectives of Ishvara onto Jiva and to say that Jiva is also Ishvara, like, he has also omniscient, omnipotence, all those qualities. No way. When it is being made the statement, it is very clear as to what are the things which are common between the Ishvara and the Jiva is only what is to be taken. Rest of the Bahud Vritti, there are many things, Shabdas, which are not compatible between that Jivatma and Paramatma. All of them have to be abandoned. Parasyamsho vigaro va jivo vakyena na uchyate. Na uchyate. Jivatmana pravishthatvad swamayaya srishtamurtishu niramsho nirvikaro asau sutya yuktya cha gamyate ghatakasho vigaro va na amsho va viyato yatha. Now, there are two words where one is an example, one is a statement. Parasyamsha vikaraha va jivo vakyena nauchade. Parasyamsha means the Paramatma's the thing vikaraha na jiva vakyena nauchade. It is not that both, but the shabdas are not identical. So it is not the words which are the vakyena, the identity is being indicated. But then what? Jivatmana pravishtatvad swamayaya srishtamurtishu. Jivatmana pravishta. He has entered the Jivatma. Tat pravishta. Tat trishtva tadeva pravishya tateva pravishyat. Iti tat trishtva tadeva vishyat. That is the Taittiriya thing. He having created by swamayaya, by his own maya, he entered everything. He created everything and he became everything, which includes the Jivatma. So, Srishtamurtishu means the objects which have been created by Swamayaya, Pravishtatvad, for having entered it. Entering an object is not like there is a detailed discussion on the Shastra on this thing. It is not like a bird entering its cage, nor is it like, a man entering the house, or, fish entering a water, or a bird flying in the sky. These are the different examples which are being given. Pravishta, the word. But what? The gold having created by in itself the name and the form of an ornament, and we can say the gold entered in the name and the form of an ornament. Or the mud having been given a name and form of a pot is what is entered in the name and the form, is entered the form and therefore assuming a name. So that is the way it has to be understood. Niramsho nirakaro aso shrutya yuktya cha gammyate. So niramshaha, it is not with any anshas or parts. Nirvigaro, it doesn't go through any changes by itself by becoming the sarvamus srishta murtishu. By having created all the srishta murti and entered, he is not becoming into multiple parts. Nor is he going through any conversion or a change in his vikara, in the vikara form, to become different from what he was. That should be understood by Shuktya Yuktya cha Gammyate. When the Shruti Vakya and the Yukti, we should use our logic to understand by analyzing the Tattvamasi Vak, that statement that when Tattvam Astadtvamasi, when it is being told, that what is being indicated as Paramatma and Tvam which is being indicated by the Jivatma is one, because the Paramatma is himself having entered into every creation. The Jivatma is not different from the rest of the creation. So here Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, it comes from that word. So Brahma is appearing in the Maswa Maya, so by his own Maya, having created the many things, is appearing as many things. But by doing that, he has not divided himself into many objects. Nor has he gone through any transformation of the Shatvigaras. Janma, Striti, Parinama, Vriddhi, Kshaya, Ityadi. All of those type of, there are 6 formations which are there. That is not there. This has to be understood from the Tattvamasi Vakya, and you have to apply our own logic to that. Example, what is being that? Gadakasho vikaro va na amsho va viyato yatha. Now when you say the space inside a pot, the space inside the pot has a utility, either for storing water or grain or whatever, maybe or cooking. That doesn't mean the space which is occupied inside the gada or the pot has himself become a part of the space by dividing itself into that space of the pot, or nor has he got into a shape of the pot Vikara in the name, in the Vikara means conversion into the shape of the pot. No, neither Amsha nor Vikara. Because the space, even when it is appearing, is as a space inside the pot, is not separate from what it was there even before. Tum indriyosi iti vedavakyam tum indrosi iti vedavakyam na kalu stuti tatparam stuti tatparam tum indriyasi. In the Rig Veda there is a statement called you are Indra. So is it that statement can be asked by the opponent? Is it something like that? You are Indra, is there a Vedavakya? Or in the Rig Veda there is a thing. Is it something similar to what he is saying, Tum Indra? Or is it a mere praise? That you are Indra is saying, when you are saying you are Indra, doesn't mean that you have become Indra. No, it is a praise. So is it Tatumasi, is it something similar? No, Nakhalu. It is not like that. It is Nakhalu Stutivat Tatparam. So it is neither a Stuti Vakya. Na Sadrishya Param Vakyam Agnir Manavaka Adivat. Na Karya Karanattvasya Sadhanam Mrid Ghadadivat. Okay. Now there are two different aspects of it. Agnir Manavaka is the student is a firebrand. When you say that is a firebrand student or a firebrand politician or firebrand, when we call it a person on that, doesn't really mean that that person is exhibiting fire. But what is being done? It is to pure mere similarity that he is, he's spitting fire in his words or actions. It is not that he is really spitting fire in his words, but his words are like, it can cause that much of anger, or the effect of fire is being experienced in his actions. So therefore he is a firebrand, he can say. Or is it like that, cause and effect, like Mrit and Gada? So Mrit is the cause and Gada is the effect. There is a material cause and a material effect. Is it something similar to that pot and clay? Because right now we understood that, that pravishta, when I was explaining the word, the mud itself has entered into the pot as a shape of the pot and the thing. Now here it is saying, it is the same example which is being used. But if you think that, instead of knowing the gold itself is the gold ornaments, or the pot itself is the pot, the mud itself is the pot, but thinking that it is a material cause which is getting converted into an effect cause called the pot, there is a cause-effect relationship. In the case of Jivatma and Paramatma, there is no such cause and effect. The Paramatma and Jivatma are not cause-effect like that. He created you, so he is a creator, and you are the created. No way. This is what the Shruti Vakya is saying. When it is says Tattvamasi, then creator and created cannot be the same. There is a cause and effect relationship. No such thing can be attributed to this one. When you are saying Tattvamasi Vakya, what does it mean? It means that you cannot think that there is a cause-effect. There is a Srishtikarta, a creator who created the world, and having created the world, he entered the world. When we say that, naturally, like the pot and the mud, we may think there is a relation between cause and effect. To remove that, na karya karanasya sadhanam. It is neither the cause for the karya karana, cause and effect thing. When you say that, when you understand this, these are all bringing to that Vagatya Kalashana aspect, which is the commonality between the Jivatma, Paramatma. To analyze that, these type of doubts or misunderstanding which can come in our mind is being brought one by one, so that we don't consider it in the same way. Even by mistake we may say that, there is a material cause called mud, and there is an instrumental cause called a potter, who converts the material cause into an effect called a pot, and the pot is an effect. So there is a cause and effect relationship is what normally which is being told. But if you really look from the pure point of view of the mud, neither mud has caused anything or not to become a part of it or becoming a converted product into something other than mud when it became a pot or gold and ornaments. In all these things, there is nothing which is changing in its purity or in its essence. But we can give the cause and effect from the utility point of view. Mud has no utility for cooking or storing, whereas the pot, which is nothing but mud, has a utility. So the mud becomes the cause and the pot becomes the effect is a natural way to think. Here he is saying that no, it is not that way we should think. It is the mud itself which is the pot, not pot is an effect of the pot. Then he is bringing another example which is being negated. Na jadi vyakti gamakam gau gandha iti vachaha guna gunyatmakam vakyam na etat Nilotpaladivat. Now here it is a jati and vyakti. See, there is like that, Paramatma is a jati, Jivatma is a vyakti. Like the word gau and gantha means a lame cow belongs to the category called cow. So is it like that? The Paramatma is a category name for the Atma, so that every Atma is included in that. And this Jivatma, which you say Tat Tvam Asi. So you, when you hear that, am I a part of the category called Atma? This can be a doubt which will come in our mind. Because Jati and Vyakti means, Jati means is a commonality. All the cows are called the Gotvam iti. Gotvam means the Samana Jatiya cow iti. All those, every cow put together becomes the category called a cow. And in that there is a lame cow which has got a limp in while walking. So when you are taking one cow which belongs to the category of cow, you are separating out one cow out of the group of cow or the category called cow. Same way, in the Jivatma Paramatma, are we to understand that the Paramatma word is a category called Atma. All Atmas are put together is Paramatma. That means many zeros put together becomes infinity. No, it cannot still become infinity. It is still zero only. Or many infinity put together become a super infinity. No, that also doesn't happen. It is not coming together of parts into make it's a Paramatma. Nor does it Guna Guni Atmakam. Now that is Guna Yasminasya Asti Iti Guni. Like for example, blue lotus. The blueness of the color of the blue, when it is being seen in a lotus, we say a blue lotus, Nilotpala. Now, there is a relationship between the Nila, the blue color, and the flower, which is part and parcel. We may not be able to segregate the blueness out of the lotus, but we know that blueness is not that of lotus alone. Blueness can be seen others also. So this is here where we have to bit of Nyaya Shastra will come in to help. There is called Adivyapti, Avyapti and Asambhava doshas. There are 3 types of doshas. It means a quality being not available in all the product, all the categories of that particular. So for example, the dewlap of a cow is unique to all the cattle category. Only cow has the dewlap, nor does the buffalo, nor the goat or a horse or all the 4-legged. mammals do not have the dewlap. So we can say that dewlap is in the cow. So we say that dewlap is the quality, but is the lakshana or the adjective or the qualifier for segregating cow from the rest of the animals. No, but there is a four-legged animal which is a chameleon. It is also coming under the category of prani. Prani means in insect, or not insect in the sense that other than human beings, animals. In that, chameleon also has a dewlap type of a flesh hanging under its neck. So can you say that dewlap is a common entity for both the cow and the chameleon? So chameleon cannot be a cow. So that means this qualifier which you have mentioned as the quality of the cow is going more than the group of or the category called cow. So therefore there is a overstretching of the quality into other animals. Now if you say that this blue lotus thing, the blueness is not in lotus alone. There are other blue colors, blue birds are there, blue sky is there. So many places you can see the blue. So that means the blue is not restricted to the lotus category alone. So here also you can see that the extension is not related to that particular category. So you cannot say that because that quality is residing in the object, you are able to say. So Jivatma, Paramatma, the word Atma is common in the Jivatma and Paramatma. So is it that something like Nila Ulpadavat, is Atma is residing in Jiva and Atma is residing in Paramatma? Is it that because Guna Gunyatmagam Vakyam? Is it that? No, that is also not the way to analyze it. Na Upasana Param Vakyam Pratimadishu Pratimasu Vishuddha Isha Buddhivat. Pratimasu Isha Buddhivat. Na Upasana Param Vakyam Pratimasu Isha Buddhivat. Na Va Aupajarigam Vakyam Rajavat Rajapurushe. Now he is giving another two examples. One is that Upasana Param, as an object of worship, we have a Ishvara Buddhi, Isha Buddhi in the Pratima. Pratima means an idol. In the idol we have a Buddhi of Ishvara. Is it a word like that? The Tattvamasi means when we say that when you are doing a worship on a Shivalinga, the Shiva is a Ishvara Tattvam that is being superimposed on the Shivalinga. So there is a Buddhi, Shiva, Isha, Buddhi on the Pratima which is a Shivalinga. Is it Upasana Param? Is it something similar to that when you say Tattvamasi? Means the Jivatma and Paramatma, is a method of Upasana that I am the Ishvara, or that Atma in Atma is the Ishvara? Is it that way? Nava, not even like that. Aupacharikam Vakyam. See, for example, when you see a person, the personal assistant of the minister, when he comes out, we know sure that minister will be following. So when we say that, when the personal assistant comes out, yeah, minister is coming, or police coming before the higher authority coming, we will say that same way the Rajapurusha, when he comes, we say the Raja is coming. The king is coming, we seeing the soldiers before the king, we call that the siegers, so the king is coming. Is it something similar that we are using the same way? Tadattomasi, if you mean to say that, is it something comparatively that way? No, even not that way also. So different methods where which our doubts or comprehension can go. Jivatmana pravishto asau Ishvara shruyate yata. For Ishvara is declared in the Shruti to have himself entered the universe, in the Jiva. This is what I said in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Satrushva tadevanu pravishyat. So, Jivatmana pravishtaha asau Ishvara iti shruyate. In the Shruti, it is said that having created the multiplicity, he entered that multiplicity. This is being heard in the Shruti. So, what does that mean? Therefore, Atman identified with the body, etc., is by ignorance. Now, from here onwards, the Dehatma Buddhi, why is the reason? What is the main reason why we are not able to understand this Shruti Vakya in its import in 100% clarity? Is because we are so much identified with the body. We cannot think even for an iota of a second that we are not the body. This is the main reason why we are not able to understand the Shruti Vakyas in its pure meaning. When it is said Tattvamasi or Ayam Atma Brahma, Yat Sakshat Avarokshat Brahma, all those statements instantly Shravana Samakale Eva. The moment we hear it, like when you say an elephant, the moment you hear a word elephant, your mind will have the picture of the elephant if you already know that elephant. Or when I call a name, when anybody calls your name, there is not an iota of a second or a doubt to know that they are calling you. So, same way, when the Shruti says that Tadattvamasi or Ayamatma Brahma, Satchakshat Brahma, all these statements when it is being told, why are we not able to understand the individual the Shruti is referring to me is myself to be understood? That in the case of Ayamatma Brahma in the Mandukya Upanishad, the Shruti is touching the chest of the listener, of the student, and telling this Atma, what you think. Atma there means the self. This Atma, I am Atma Brahma, is indeed Brahma. Same way when Shvetaketu was told by his Uddalaka father, the Uddalaka, Tadattvamasi Shvetaketu. So that you are Tad Shvetaketu, when it is being told, we are not able to grasp the meaning similar to what we hear that somebody says, Shobha, you are being called, or Patrick, you are being called, or somebody being called that, Chandu, you are being called. You won't take even a second that, okay, I am being called, that you immediately wake up and say where to go or who is calling. That sort of an awareness, why is it not that is happening to us when the Shruti says that the Tadattvamasi or Ayamatma Brahma, all those statements, we should have that statement Aham Brahmasmi instantaneously. But that is not happening. The only reason why it is not happening is that Atman is identified with the body. Because the moment you identify with the body, all the limitations of the body is the reason we limit ourselves. And this is why it is happening is because of the tadatmya or the ignorance. The ignorance itself is the tadatmya, is the association of the awareness, knowledge, or the atma association with the body is the result of an ignorance. Here it is that saying that Dehendriya Manobuddhi Prana Hankara Samkatau Atma Sangalanat Atma Ajnana Atnai Ratmatvam Pratipadyate Vannidhi Kashta Lohadau Vanni Sangalanadiva Dehendriya Mano Buddhi Prana Ahankara Sampadau. That is the first statement. Deha, Indriya, Mana, Buddhi, Prana, Ahankara, all those things are all Samhadau is blended together to form an aggregate what is called the body. This totality is what is called the body. And Atma Sangalanad Atnyaihi. By mixing up with the Atma or the awareness with the Dehendriya Manobuddhi Ahankara, Atnyaihi Atmattum Pratipadyate. The ignorant, the Atnya, or the people who have not understood the reality, they think that Atma is the Deha, or this Deha is the Atma. Pratipadyate. Like what? Vannidhi. In the presence of fire, Kashta Lohadau, either a firebrand or a iron ball, when it is in the proximity or when it is in fire, Vanni Sankalanadiva. The fire occupies the wood or the loha or the iron ball, and we say that it's the fire. We don't segregate the iron ball and the fire at that time because both are red hot and we are not able to segregate between the fire and the fireball. Same way, the presence of Atma through the Dehendriya Manobuddhi Ahankara Pranadi, we think that each time I am that. I am the Deha, I am the Indriya when the sense organs are in function, I am the mind when I am presence of happiness and sorrow, I am the Buddhi when I am thinking about logically and all this thing. I am even thinking that I am the one who knows everything. Prana. It is because prana I am alive. So my I am alive is because the prana is keeping me alive. So I am associating the prana's function in the body as my jivatvam or my life. Ahankara, because I associate with my dehadi sankalpam, I think I limit myself to associations with the body. The shirt is mine, the house is mine, that this is my country, this is my family, this is my world, everything is mine in relation with the body.
Atra mamakara.
Yeah. It's all mama. So aham and mama, I am and the mine, because ahankara is the cause for the mamakara. Ahamkara, aham karoti or aham is the reason why we get the akara of the mama. So all those things are superimposition of the jivatvam. In the tattvamasi, the tvam is not referring to the body. It is neither telling the deha is the paramatma, nor the indriya is the paramatma, nor the mana is the paramatma, nor the buddhi is the paramatma, nor prana is the paramatma, nor ahankara is the paramatma. But when the moment we hear the word tvam, we think about the agglomeration of manobuddhi ahankara pranadi. All these things put together is what I am. Is the knowledge that comes, just as when we are not able to segregate between the fire and the red hot iron ball. Both look like a burning fire to us. Same is the ignorance, because of one is fire, which is self-effulgent, it can shine and show. Iron, when it is left without the iron, without the fire, it is inert, dead, and have no life or no shining in it. Same way, the Atma, when it is not present in the Deha, neither the Deha has the potency, nor the Indriya has the potency, nor the mind has the potency. None of the Sangada or none of those individuals things can function. So it is just like that. We are not able to segregate our identity with the association which we are now believing that what we are. This is the reason what is called the ignorance. This association is what is the ignorance is all about. From this 25 verse onwards, we will take it in the next week, because here there are good examples which we can analyze properly to know why we are getting identified with our body. And this is mandatory, and we should know that how we are getting identified with the body as I am the body. This Dehatma Buddhi is the reason why we are not able to realize our nature. We see it only through the Deha as the I am the Deha. That is the reason why we are not able to know who we are. when the Shastra, when the Shruti says, or the Guru says, or the teachers like Ramana or Nisargadatta Maharaj or Ramakrishna Paramahansa or any one of the teachers, when they say that find out who you are not, we are not able to drop the association with the body or the related with the body to the world of objects outside. We are not able to do away with it to know who we are, our true nature. This we will investigate more in the next week's class. Any questions?
Naji.
Okay. Or Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, just does the notion of the body and the, not the identification, but the language around the self and I mean, other than maybe not bumping into, somebody or, hitting a car if you're driving, like what, does this language serve us at all?
First, you have to identify what you are before you going into the functions of the body. It is the knowledge that what is your reality doesn't change the functions of the instruments. The nature of the petrol doesn't change the quality of the car or the function of a car. Nor does the quality of the electricity change the methodology in which the functions of electrical instruments are working. Each one will function their own way. But that doesn't mean the Atma, which is the reality for their existence, that also you will can see it as separate and their reality only when you know your reality. It is just like that. Only when you know the reality of yourself, you will know that the deha which you think as your body is in fact not just limited to this physical appearance. Your body is getting limited because you are limiting it to the name and the shape of the body. That awareness of the body is to be something which you have to understand, that for that you should know what is your nature, the awareness nature. Same as what is explained in the earlier slokas, identifying with the space in a pot. The space has never become the pot. Same way the awareness is there, the conscious awareness, Satchidananda, Jivatma, Paramatma. There is a commonality in these two. And when the Paramatma has become everything in the world, does it mean that it is there only inside you? No. It is inside you, it is there as the body, it is as there as a mind, it is as there as a buddhi, it is there as a ahankara, it is there everything. But without the knowledge, they all feel that they are independently existing without, the need of any Atma. Therefore, what the body does is being seen as action in independence. Now, to draw the best example is that the awareness itself became the you in the dreamer. In the dreamer, you as a dreamer, you were driving a car and you hit a person in the dream. Now the person is also creation of the awareness of the dream. The car is also creation of the awareness in the dream. The dreamer is also an awareness creation by the awareness. Now where is the car hitting the person when everything is in that creation of the awareness of the dream? You can understand that in the case of a dream. But when it comes to waking, you are not able to accept that. That is because of this association with that, the dreamer associating with the dreamer and seeing that, thinking that I have hit a person in the dream. He cannot, while dreaming, he cannot segregate it and experience it. Same is the case in the waking. In the waking, we cannot segregate it because those are all events of the waking. But we have an intellect with we can analyze this. What is the reality behind all those things? Do they have a separate, independent reality as a person hit by the car separate, I separate? Physically, they may have separate names and forms, but from the total point of view, not even from your point of view, forget about it. From your point of view, there is a separation because you are identifying with your limited body. But are you the limited body? First of all, ask that question. Once you know the answer of it, then you will be able to place things other than. For that, it is by this Tattvamasi word, and he is very clearly saying that when you remove all the adjectives and qualifications which we are putting for the name and the forms, when it is removed, Tattvamasi, that becomes you. That awareness which is there in every iota of creation is the same same thing which is in you also. But we are not able to accept it. We are not ready to accept it because our mind, because of the association of the Deha.
At what level would you feel comfortable making the statement, there is no body, there is no individual?
I'm not saying the body. I'm saying the body.
No. I know that. I understand. But let's go beyond. Let's go beyond this right now and just say, obviously, from the absolute perspective, if there ever could be an absolute perspective, there is no body. But it's almost like there really isn't the body. What appears as the separation and what appears as like separate objects is part of, not an illusion, but it's a construct. There's a construct in, or a notion that the different parts are like have a name, that it's almost like the naming of it gives rise to it, that there's a separate belief system as it being a part. And maybe it's not really relevant, but it's like when you start naming something, it gives it relevance or legitimacy. And maybe it's important if you're an animal on the Serengeti, you don't know that everything has a different name, but you know that lion coming towards you isn't you. But there's no need for a name for it. But anyway, maybe it's just my imagination coming up with something that's not really relevant. So
it is just like this, Patrick. While dreaming, you are not able to segregate you as a dreamer and the experiences of the dream. You could do it only when you woke up. You had to abandon that experiencing of the dream to know that was a dream. Same way, in the waking, our experiences are due to the association of the physical body. The world, the sun, the moon, the objects, experiences, all the things are because we associate and operate through the functions of the body, sense organs and the physical body. And we can only think from that point of view, just like a dreamer was thinking he was a dreamer in the dream. He had to disassociate with the body of the dreamer to know that it is a dream. Same way, our association with our body can be disassociated to know that the experiences of the body are similar to that of the dreamer, but of a different construct, like grossness, etc., time, space, etc. identical in both the same single situation. But association of the body has to be shifted to your nature, which is without the body. When you are able to stand the dissociated state, knowing what is your real nature, then only you can see the flimsiness or efficacy of our experiences or misplaced, understanding till now we had. That shifting to the reality of our true nature is mandatory for that. If you can't stand that side and look at it, associated with the body and the instruments of the body, you will never be able to cognize or even imagine that. Is it possible? Yes. Our own 3 states of awareness is making us realize that. There is a state where I am not even associated with my physical body. I do not know my name and even I am breathing or I am alive or dead or nothing. But I existed as a pratyavijna or as a recalling of my experience when I wake up. I had a good sleep, I knew nothing. Which shows that my awareness was not absent there. I knew that I knew nothing. That very clearly shows that association with this physical body and hanging on to the sense organs and linking with that and looking at is the reason why we are not able to detach our body association and look from pure experience point of view. That experience which you also had it in your dream and deep sleepless, when the objectless dream, deep sleep. If you are able to identify and shift it into that awareness, then you will be seeing the waking, the dream, and even that deep sleep in that, from that point of view of awareness, and thereby when you are in the dream, when it is happening, is not going to affect you. Same way the waking is not going to affect you, nor is the deep sleep going to affect you. You will be beyond the 3. This has to be done by the individual by listening to the Shastras and practicing it. Either neti neti or pratibodha vididam madam. There are many methods which are being told by the Shruti. Only by practicing that and understanding it from that point of view, you will be able to disassociate with your identification. Any other questions? Okay, I will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Dhanyawad.